One of the biggest mysteries of the Alien universe continues to be the question of how did the alien egg get aboard the Sulaco at the beginning of Alien 3? At least one egg was seen aboard the ship, which attacked the cryotubes and went on to cause the fire that would lead the survivors to be migrated to the EEV pod, which made its crash landing on the prison planet of Furina Fury 161. The film itself unfortunately offers little explanation to this occurrence, as when Ripley questions Bishop after reprogramming his damaged remains, he simply states that an alien was with us all the way. The most commonly, albeit begrudgingly held theory is that somehow, in the final moments of Aliens, when the alien queen is aboard the Sulaco and subsequently battles with Ripley in the power loader, somehow she is able to stow away an egg aboard the ship. This theory, of course, presents a few holes, one being that clearly during Ripley's raid on the Hive on LV-426, the Queen's egg sac is destroyed and discarded, presumably nulling the creature's ability to produce further eggs. This, of course, would depend entirely on the assumption that a new egg was laid by the Queen after the destruction of the Hive, though it is possible that in the time between Ripley's escape to the elevator and the takeoff of the dropship, the Queen may have been able to salvage a surviving egg from the Hive and hiding it on her person, perhaps holstering it somehow on the spikes of her back, securing it for the trip to the Sulaco. If a new egg was indeed laid in that time, it's also believed that even without her elaborate egg sac, it's entirely possible for the Queen to lay an emergency egg, a kind of one-shot last chance for the species' survival for dire situations, such as the one currently experienced by the Queen. But the other, arguably more problematic aspect to this theory is the general timing of how these events take place. From the time the Queen emerges from the dropship, attacks Bishop, chases Newt, and battles against Ripley, there seems to be simply no time in which the Queen could have hidden an egg. After all, the egg as seen in Alien 3 is not on the dropship, but actually in the Sulaco itself. Though this could be stretching the theory even further, it's also a firmly held belief that the Queen may have had help with a facehugger also stowed away with her on the dropship, along with an egg, and amidst the panic and distraction of the Queen's attack on the survivors, the facehugger would be able to scurry away along with the egg and hide it wherever it needed to, completely unnoticed. This theory is actually sound enough, and at least offers an explanation as to why, despite only one egg apparently being on board, there were enough facehuggers to impregnate the Queen into Ripley, and the runner alien into the dog on Fury 161. Aside from the xenomorph species itself and its need for survival, on the other side of the spectrum, there are beliefs that it was mainly the work of the company, Weyland-Yutani, that had the hand in ensuring the egg specimen made its way onto the Sulaco, likely after learning of the situation with the Marines and the impending nuclear blast that would surely wipe out the entire valuable alien species and all their chances of acquiring it. A popular theory is that somehow Bishop was programmed to retrieve a specimen, either unknowingly or against his will. After all, despite his heroics and his efforts to protect the human survivors, at the end of the day, he is company property. How this could have happened and how Bishop could have been made available the specimen is a little bit more sketchy in its details, but depending on exactly how long the travel time actually takes between the planet LV-426 and the location of the Sulaco, it's believed that possibly Bishop could have had the time to fly the dropship to the Sulaco, place the egg wherever he needed to, and then return to Ripley while claiming the landing pad was unstable and needed to circle around. This would all, of course, depend on impeccable and precise timing, the factor of actually acquiring an alien egg, and of course, the question of how much free will an android in the alien universe actually has. Another explanation added to the alien mythology that has emerged in recent years comes from the 2013 video game Aliens Colonial Marines, specifically an expanded story mode known as Stasis Interrupted. In the storyline presented here, it's revealed that during the events of Aliens, Burke makes contact with Weyland-Yutani and confirms the existence of the xenomorph species. A second team of Marines are sent in on the transport ship Legato, along with a cargo of human hosts for alien experimentation, and specimens are successfully retrieved from LV-426 before its destruction. As the xenomorph experimentation inevitably causes chaos, the Legato is able to intercept the Sulaco, creating an umbilical to board the ship for military assistance, and of course, letting aboard alien drones with harvested eggs aboard the ship in the process. This storyline also proposes that it was completely of Weyland-Yutani's design to set the Sulaco's coordinates to Fury 161, as it would be preferable to acquire the alien specimen in a remote, out-of-the-way, low-profile planet, rather than attempt to bring the specimens directly through Gateway Station. Also taking into account that this video game also creates an explanation that Hicks was actually never killed, and the crushed body found in the EEV's wreckage was actually a doppelganger, I suppose it's up to the individual as to whether or not you'd like to accept this as canon, and part of the official overall story. While it's adding a peripheral story to the films, it is an officially licensed title, and probably the closest we may get to a definitive explanation as to why the egg found its way to the Sulaco. But ultimately, there is no real definite answer, only theory. What do you think? Was it the alien queen that somehow got the egg aboard? Was Bishop programmed to betray his human friends? Do you accept the story provided by Stasis Interrupted? Or are you among those who like to think that Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection are actually a hypersleep nightmare, and that Ripley is still out there, somewhere, sound asleep in space? Comment below, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these and other theories, and I'm curious to see what the majority of people believe to be the proper explanation. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I really love talking about the Alien universe. Be sure to like and share this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more videos like this. And if there's a topic you'd like to see explored on this channel, don't hesitate to comment below and let me know. And until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.